Considering a move to Iceland with children? Let's get straight into the video. One very important detail to note is that in comparison to other countries, there is not a large expat community in Iceland, so it can be easy for people to feel isolated. This is especially true during the dark, cold winter months, and this is why it's vital you pick up a hobby or join a social club. Go to the local swimming pool, join a sport, take a dance class, anything to keep busy. As I just mentioned, the winters are long and dark, so it's imperative you also make sure that your physical health is in check. Take vitamin D and any other supplements you may need to get through the winter. If you have kids, some cool wintertime hangouts include the local pools and libraries, Family Land, Smarland and Kringland malls, and the tourist attractions like Flyover and the Lava Show. There's even a ski resort. If you have babies and toddlers, there are some free activities that go on during the week. Some take place at libraries around town, and there's even an organization called MEM that hosts free weekly gatherings around town. Iceland is not cheap, so if you're trying to pinch pennies, I strongly advise that you don't come here or you will be limited in what you can and can't do. I can't tell you how many parents complain that there aren't many free things to do around town with their kids. You need to be willing to spend some money or you will just sit in your house all day, which isn't fun. Jumping off that point, taxis are expensive and there is no Uber here, so just something to be aware of. Definitely take advantage of the thermal baths / hot springs here. This is one of the great things about living in Iceland. They are open all year long and are a great way to warm up. And yes, you do have to shower naked, but you get used to it after a while. Summer is the time to get out in nature and do fun activities. This is especially true for hiking. Winter can be dangerous, and despite what you may read online, not all activities are year-round. For example, I do not recommend the Reykjadalur hot spring hike in the winter. Also, make sure you read warning signs while you're out in nature and don't do anything stupid. Tourists die every year because they underestimate Mother Nature. There are 2 international schools, ISI in Gardabyr and the International Department at Landakotskóli. Unfortunately, they accept kids from age 5 onwards, which means if you have a preschooler, you will have to send them to a local Icelandic-speaking school. Obviously, the language barrier can present a problem, so make sure you pick a school with teachers who are willing to work with your child and help them adjust to a new country, language, and school. Another important thing to note is that in Iceland, academics are not seriously taught until children are around 6 years old. School before age 6 mainly consists of unstructured play all day. While some parents like the schooling philosophy, many foreign parents do not, as their children inevitably fall behind when they return to their home countries. So definitely keep this in mind as you may have to resort to extra tutoring. It is extremely difficult to find housing here, so I strongly recommend you hire a real estate agent to help you. I also want to mention that downtown Reykjavik is not an ideal place in my opinion. The apartments are like shoeboxes and the area is just filled with tourists all the time. So don't just look at downtown Reykjavik, look at the suburbs around town. The Icelandic health insurance system covers anyone who has resided in Iceland for at least 6 months. Now, just a warning that some people say that the healthcare here is terrible and that you basically have to be your own advocate. We have had a mix of good and mediocre experiences, so it's hard to comment, but I did want to throw that out there since I've heard this sentiment repeated many times. Lastly, the air and water are clean. This is a rarity nowadays and one of the best things about living in Iceland. Also, many people consider Iceland to be the safest country in the world. If not the safest, then definitely one of the top 5 safest. This is something that is amazing about living here. Well, that's all I have to say for now. Thanks for watching.